They spent years mocking me for being the quiet son, until one business deal changed the balance of power forever. My family always treated confidence like it was the same thing as intelligence, which meant my older brother Jake basically grew up as royalty while I spent most of my life invisible. Because Jake was loud, charming, and naturally good at making people believe he knew what he was doing even when he didn't, while I was quieter, analytical, and more comfortable listening than talking. And in my house that somehow translated into weakness. So growing up, every family dinner became another reminder that Jake was a born leader while I was just the awkward younger brother hiding behind computers and books. And honestly, after hearing it for 20 years, I stopped trying to compete because no matter what I achieved, my family only respected success they could loudly see. And by the time we reached our 30s, the difference became almost embarrassing because Jake worked in corporate management, constantly posting motivational garbage online about hustle culture, while I quietly built software companies and investment partnerships nobody in my family understood enough to value. And honestly, I preferred it that way because being underestimated is peaceful until people start mistaking silence for incompetence, which Jake absolutely did, especially after his company started struggling financially and he became obsessed with proving he was still more successful than me. So naturally, every family gathering turned into him making jokes about how I'd still played with apps while he managed real employees. And everyone laughed because they genuinely believed I spent my days doing meaningless tech work from home while Jake climbed the corporate ladder like some future CEO. But everything changed during my parents' anniversary dinner because halfway through the night Jake arrived drunk and angry after learning his company was preparing for a massive buyout by an outside investor group. And from the second he sat down, he wouldn't stop ranting about how the idiots buying the company probably had no idea how businesses actually worked. And honestly, I almost choked trying not to laugh because the investor group acquiring his company was partially funded by one of my private equity firms. Though Jake obviously had no idea since I operated most of my business partnerships through holding companies and silent investments. And the irony became even better when Jake started bragging that upper management already assured him he'd probably receive a huge promotion after the acquisition because real leaders survive transitions, while taking shots at me for never working in serious business environments. And honestly, I probably would have stayed quiet forever if he hadn't looked directly at me in front of everyone and said, "You know the difference between us, Daniel? I build things in the real world while you hide behind screens pretending to matter." Because hearing that after years of quietly outperforming everyone in the room just flipped some switch inside me. But before I could respond, my phone buzzed with a message from our legal team confirming the acquisition finalized 30 minutes earlier, officially making me majority owner of Jake's company effective immediately. And suddenly the timing felt almost unreal, so instead of arguing I simply asked Jake what he thought about the new ownership group, and he laughed saying hopefully the new owners would finally fire dead-weight employees who contribute nothing, which honestly made what happened next feel almost cinematic because at that exact moment his work phone started ringing. And after glancing at the screen his expression immediately changed because the call came from the company's executive board. So naturally the entire table went quiet while Jake answered confidently expecting congratulations, except within seconds the confidence drained from his face as the board informed